Opuntia. Hello everybody, hope you guys are doing absolutely amazing. Do you know, quick little fact, that there is a giant truck going down the road? An Opuntia species native to every state in the US. Yep, maybe not Hawaii, the continental US, we'll say that. Every state, from Maine down to Florida, over to California, all the way up to Washington, Oregon. Yep, there are and can be found Opuntia species, cactus. Pretty cool, huh? So, yes, this video is about Opuntia. I know there are other cactus, barrel calmer types, stuff like that. And yes, they have edibilities and depending on the varieties and whatnot. But did you know also that if you are 100% sure that you have an Opuntia, a Pad Cactus, I think they're technically called cleidodes or something. I don't know. I'm not a freaking botanist, okay? Botanists just screw stuff up. Don't listen to botanists. All right. These are Opuntia, Pad Cactus. Dozens of species, even though they've changed names, trust me, several times on a lot of species. And they've even removed Opuntia from some of them. They're all Opuntia, Pad Cactus. Alright, is what it is. Well, that's out of the way. Now that interesting fact. If you are sure you have one, they are all edible. Pad Cactus, the young pads, even the older ones if you want to eat the woody, fibrous, but all the Pad Cactus, nice young edible pods, not pods, pads, just like those right there, are edible, including the fruit. Quick side note, all cactus fruit, if you know it's cactus, is actually edible as well. So anyway, Opuntia cactus. These are honestly one of the most underutilized, easiest to grow, and I mean easy, I say easy crops. I work with easy crops. This is my business, okay? Bringing you guys easy to grow, productive crops. But everybody can grow a freaking cactus, right? Can you grow a cactus? Everybody. You cannot kill a cactus unless you willfully want that plant dead, okay? So, especially here in the US, which is odd because they do grow so well everywhere, this is an amazing crop. Once you get down into Mexico and everything, where there's the epicenter of breeding and cultivation, you have amazing cultivars down there of different Opuntia. All the different fruit, the tunas, they call them, just absolutely mind-blowing what you can find. But once you get here in the US, it's nil. You can basically find nothing. If you are lucky, some stores today, especially local meat markets and stores like that, are starting to sell imported Nepal cactus, the Opuntia pads from Mexico. And I'm not 100% sure what species those are. I actually grow them. I've grown it for years, some of those species. There's a couple that they grow. And when it comes to species, there's hybrids galore, of course. But you got, you know what? I'm just showing you this beautiful variegated cactus right here. And I actually have a table. Yeah, I've gone YouTube official, guys. I've got a table with stuff on it to show you. Yep, right? But this is a beautiful variegated Opuntia species. Don't know the exact species on it because I don't know. But there are a few of variegated varieties. Not all of them do very well. I've actually bought and paid quite a bit of money for some, and this is the only one that does very well for me. Grows beautifully. And this one's about 8 feet tall right now. 8 feet tall or so. And it's just putting on nice, beautiful spring pads. And those are what you want to eat. They're nice and flexible, nice and tender, and absolutely delicious. Just delicious. But I'll go show you some of the varieties that I have over in the my table, my YouTube table. You've seen it before in a couple videos, I think, but, you know, it's officially the YouTube, you know, video making table. Let's go over and look. Beautiful variegated Opuntia. These look really freaking nice when you're pickling them or stir frying them up. Add some prettiness to it. Look at that. Nice new growth. So I'm back, you know, video magic. Anyway, guys, there you go on the left there. That is the variegated variety that I have. And here's a nice tender one. That's what you want to eat. Nice, it's, you know, it's still tender, it's floppy, and it still has the little leaflets on it, you can see. Where these are the big mature ones. Those are fibrous and completely mature. And really, you could munch on that if you wanted to. You know, like I said, fibrous and not as tender. But look at that variegation. That is gorgeous looking. And this is a beautiful Opuntia that holds the variegation really well and grows just amazing. No issues with growth. A lot of the variegated ones have issues growing. But look at that. Gorgeous. And that, I'm not entirely sure of the species name. You know, there's dozens. And those freaking botanists, you know, they just love screwing up names. Oh, yeah, I found one down the river that's got an extra spine on it, so I'm going to rename it something completely different than, you know, all the other million cactuses growing around it. You know, I mean, it's like, anyway, you know. Yep. This one only grows 3.2 meters, where that one grows 3.1 meters. So it's a different species. It's, I don't know. And this is pretty much the same species as this, just not variegated. Again, I'm not entirely sure what the species name is. That's an Opuntia, though. And these big meaty guys here. And I just harvested all these for you guys off my plants. Big, thick, heavy pads. These are the Ficus Indica. Really nice. So, magical videos, you know. I'm back. Had a slight interruption there, my fellow human beings. Where were we? Ficus Indica is a... Where'd that caterpillar come from? Hello, little caterpillar. I don't know if I should touch you or not. You look like you might possibly sting me with irritating hairs or some kind of venom that'll make my hand numb. I don't know. Okay. Huh. I don't know what he is. I'll have to look that up. But, yeah, back to Opuntia, you know. All Opuntia are edible, regardless of the species name, you know. You know, like I said, botanists, they screw up everything. If it's a Pad Cactus, looks like this, guys, it's edible. Some have thorns, some don't. Most of them, 99% of them, I'd say, I believe, have glockets. Do you know what those are? If you don't, well, they're your worst nightmare. They are little tiny spines, almost microscopic. Oh, look, I'm rubbing all over this cactus. There ain't a spine on there. Yeah, Well, wait an hour, a day, a week, and you've got your fingertips are hurting. And then, you know, you press on like, holy crap, that hurts. And then you've got little bumps and, you know, depending on your constitution, infected little freaking fingertips from all these thousands of irritating, porcupine-like microscopic nightmares that got stuck in your finger. Depending on the species, some itch, some burn, some hurt really bad, and can make your fingers like you want to gnaw them off. You can get them in your everywhere. Oh, bad, guys, bad. So, with most of these, especially when you're harvesting the young pads, you generally want to wear gloves, unless you've got some good balls on you, you know. And you generally want to take them right inside or outside and hose them down. Good blast of water or anything, and they come right off. That's simple. It's not hard to deal with, but they're a nightmare if you do not deal with them. Some are worse than others. There are a few species that don't have them. You know, all of these right here This is Opuntia coconifera, where you get the cochineal bug from. They actually grow on all Opuntia, but this one is actually just named after it. And they are where the original natural red dye came from. And it's still used in a lot of stuff. If you see cochineal on anything you're eating, if you read the ingredients, you're eating crushed female beetle kind of grub things, yeah. And they're bright red. Mm-hmm. You know, that's what it is. Makes a really good dye. It's natural. Better dye than, Red Lake 40 or whatever it's called, because it doesn't really fade. And that one happened to be flowering. That is the earliest variety I have. Beautiful Opuntia. Look at those flowers. And there, that's what the fruit, young fruit, will look like. And that'll swell nice and bright red. This particular species, the cochineal, really, really nice brightness, super raspberry flavor. And this is the Mexican Nepal species, Opuntia something. And I've grown these. Actually got my original pads from meat market here in my, in my area. And those actually get pretty spiny. The mature pads get big spines on them. And these young pads here, these are all young pads, except this one. That's a mature pad. They weren't pushing out any new pads yet. These are all nice young pads. And that's the youngest. That's perfect. It's about what you want for eating. Nice, tender, floppy. So these are pretty much the best survival crops if you want to get into that realm of thinking you can grow. Super easy to grow, guys. They're cactus. You stick them in the ground. You want more pads off of them, fertilize and water them. If not, they'll grow some themselves. You want heavy production, take care of them a little bit. It's that simple. You want more fruit production, neglect them a little more. You want more pad production, give them a little love. It's that simple. Right? You want more pads, go and pee around them, Every morning, go out and pee on your cactus or whip it out, pop squat, whatever you need to do, and give them some more nitrogen boost, and they'll give you more pads. You want more fruit? Just stop doing that. It's like that simple. But, not a lot of people are used to eating these. Not a lot of people view them as something edible. But the way things are going, and it is very important to grow food, these are a staple that you should have in your garden or in a pot. They're cactus and grow in pots, guys. Anywhere in the world, you should be growing these. Okay? They are very nutritious, lots of minerals, not very high in low carb, but lots of fiber, lots of minerals. They are medicinal. Yeah, Opuntia have quite a few medicinal properties. And I'm not just talking about it as a good laxative to clean you out, because they will keep you regular. But they're very high in vitamin C. They are very high in, calcium, magnesium. And, everybody knows you got burns, you stick aloe on it, You got a cut, you stick aloe on it. Same with these. A lot of those mucilaginous kind of plants, cactus, succulents, are very medicinal, and these are no exception, What else? Flavor. They actually have different flavors, believe it or not, and there's actually a range here of flavor. These are not my favorite. They're good for you, and they're really pretty when you're pickling them or stir-frying them up. Good flavor, not bad. That's the same. These are a little better flavored, the indica. I'm talking about just the pads here. We'll talk about fruit in a second. Good eating. These are big, thick pads. These are one of the biggest species you're going to get. These pads can get literally a foot around or more. I think I've had some 18 plus inches around, big, huge pads. And you can see just thick, meaty pads. And really good for eating. This is the Mexican, Nepal species imported. I don't know the exact name, of course, remember. And that's a little better. That's a good flavor. I believe that's Ficus Indica too. And the best tasting one here on this table, my YouTube table, is this Coconut. This is my favorite for eating. Really good flavor. You know, it's got the nice spiciness to it. Just delicious. And of course, there's dozens, guys. There's dozens of other species of Opuntia. And, you know, some are pretty much nightmares when it comes to thorniness. But you just eat the young pads. Make sure you scrub off the glockets. And they're all edible. I've eaten everything. You go to Walmart and buy an Opuntia little one. They're edible. And they all taste pretty good. Super easy to prepare. I like to do a nice dry heat. You know, literally just take a frying pan or on your grill them, and just roast them over an open flame, over in a hot oven, and a frying pan with just a little bit of oil. If you rub them with oil, of course, before you cook them, it helps, you know, with heat and everything. And it's that simple. And if you cook them dry like that, they are not slimy. You know, they've got that, you know, mucilage like okra does. But just like with okra, if you cook it properly, they're not slimy on you. A lot of people don't like that slime, but that's because they've never had properly cooked, you know, cactus, Opuntia pads. And super easy. You know, you slice it up, super hot pan, bit of oil, fry them up nice and fast. They're already pretty tender if you're getting the right pads. And just like that, beautiful, delicious green. I like slicing it thin, hot oil or hot butter, and putting over rice with a bit of soy sauce. Absolutely delicious. Or it's really good. That caterpillar was another one maybe climbing on me. And yes, in case you're wondering, they do sting because I just took them off my shirt. Oh, joy. Anyway, but really delicious, guys. You know, what was I saying? You know, slice them thin, fry them up, not hot and fast. Or dry and slow, you know, so it gets more tender or a little older. And delicious. An absolutely delicious, nutritious green. And again, you know, it's got medicinal properties. Those are the pads. Now, if you want to talk about the fruit, you know, there are different, of course, the fruits. They range from the size of a large marble on up to the Ficus Indica here to being as big as a fist, you know. And all Opuntia fruit are edible. And again, depending on the exact species, some have smaller seeds, some have larger seeds, some have more flesh, some have less. Some are very sour, some are very sweet. And, you know, runs the gamut, and they're all amazing to eat. You can make jellies out of them. You make drinks out of them. Make desserts out of them. It's just... And they run every color from green, pink, orange, yellow, red, magenta, yellow. You name a color, they come in the colors, guys. These right here, actually, this is a red Ficus Indica, a red fruited one. And these get massive fruits on them, literally bigger than my fist. Deep red, delicious fruits with a nice fruity flavor to them. This one, and you can kind of actually see the color even in the pad. It's actually a yellow variety, and it is sunset. Not sunset, that's kind of orange. Sun yellow. It is actually bright yellow, kind of like sunflower yellow, you know, that, not that orange yellow, but that nice milky kind of yellow. Never mind. But beautiful fruits, and just delicious fruits on those. And this pad variety actually fruits too, and it gets a slightly more purplish kind of fruit. Not as large, but again, just the flavor. The one on here with the most interesting flavor, I'd say, is actually the Coconut. Those aren't very large, about the size of large grapes, on up to, if you're lucky and they're well pollinated, a small egg. But raspberries. They literally taste like raspberries, those guys. So they're all very delicious, guys. Amazing fruits. They are super easy to grow. And it's a shame that they're not more, you know, thought of as a food crop. And that is, of course, very likely about to change. And that's why I made this 20-minute plus video for you guys. because everybody is looking for things to grow right now. And I have a feeling that not many people are looking the direction of Opuntia cactus. Even though everywhere in every state where you live, you've got a native one. And even though they can literally be grown in pots and in any climate. Again, depending on the species, the cold tolerance, frost tolerance goes up and down, but all of them can take a light frost, no problems, except the young pads. They like to grow, especially these guys. If it warms up January, February, and then you have a frost, especially here in Florida, they'll freeze back, but the mature pads will survive just fine. Same with all of these. They're cactus, guys. Remember, they're cactus. Take extreme heat. They can take, and again, it's funny, some of these are extremely cold tolerant. These Ficus Indica, no problem going down into the 20s. Coconut there, I think those guys, I've had people tell me they survive into the teens with zero damage. And then again, remember, since they're native all over the place, where it snows, generally though the snow is going to protect them and give them some insulation, they can take the cold. They can take those weather extremes, guys. And while you may not think of it again because they are cacti, they can actually take the heavy rains too, especially here in Florida when our rainy season begins. No problem. As long as they are established and not fresh cut or they would rot or something, they can take the rain and all they do is put out more growth. So, truly amazing. They have just amazing potential as food crops, not just for us. Chickens eat them, pigs eat them, goats eat them, cows eat them. And honestly, the pigs, the goats, and the cows, even the chickens, generally don't give a crap about the spines, which is interesting. My goats love these. I mean, I feed them the young. I've got, these are so vigorous. I get 50, 60 pounds of pads a month off those. And the goats love them. The coonies I raise love them. The chickens, you just throw a whole pad in there and they peck at them. No issue. Again, these two, these will put on, I'll have to show you my big plants. I don't have them here. But these will put on 50, 60, 100 new pads a year, just one plant. And like I said, these can get massive pads, so a lot of fodder, a lot of food, guys. And again, if you don't want to eat the pads, the fruits are delicious. They're, of course, called tunas, and, down south. Here, I just call them cactus fruit. And if you want this video to keep on going, I'll first tell you thank you for watching, guys. Grow food, and I appreciate your support. I have record numbers of you guys getting a hold of me and buying stuff, supporting me, and I hope to increase my business and keep growing and providing you with this stuff. For instance, the red, not too bad, but the yellow tunas here, pretty rare here in the U.S. I've got every color: green, red, orange, red. I said red. Green, red, orange, magenta, yellow, light green. I've got an orange, reddish, like mimosa colored. And anyway, I will continue that after I say thank you guys very much for watching and supporting me. And I'm hoping to set up things where you can support me more, because I want to expand. I want to keep bringing you rare but easy to grow, super productive, nutritious crops. And whether that's through my breeding and selecting or getting them from other sources or whatever it may be. Also working on setting up more areas where I can provide more local sources for people. I'm working on that, and you guys are pivotal to that. Beyond important, anything. Without your support and without the growth that you guys have provided in the past 2 years, 3 years since I started YouTube videos and beyond, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have near the rare permaculture crops that I have. That's including everything. So I appreciate it, guys. But anyway, if you're still watching, like I touched on earlier in the video, it's a shame that these are not more common here in the U.S. They're just not. Most people don't even have any clue what to do with them, even though it's as simple as slicing them up, sticking them in a screaming hot pan, and eating them with some rice and some soy sauce, butter, pepper. It's that simple. Scrambled eggs. Take an old pickle jar with the brine in it and stick these in the brine. And you got pickled cactus, But once you get down into Mexico, especially, just the variety and the diversity is insane. And that's just the Opuntia. I'm not even talking about, getting into the calmer types. But these tunas down there, and I was very lucky last year when I picked up a couple of these varieties, the Ficus Indica, to try over 27 different varieties of Opuntia fruit. Yeah, I was very lucky to do that, and just amazing, the flavors. Again, you can just eat them raw, chilled. They peel them, you eat it like a kiwi. Just don't crunch down on the seeds because these are a little hard seeds. Or you blend it up, strain out the seeds, and make drinks, and make desserts out of them. Truly amazing. And the flavors run from light melony to deep, fruity, berry, amazing flavors. And just stunning. Stunning. But I'm not going to go any farther with this, guys. Opuntia cactus. Probably the least known but best survival crop. I talk about survival. I think we're all going to need it in the coming days. And grow some, get some, guys. You can stick them in pots on your porch. Literally. You can have a 10, 15 freaking, padded, 4, 5, 6 foot cactus in a 5-gallon pot. And, just give it some water and some food, and it'll grow in fruit for you. 30-minute video. Whew. Comment if you stuck around this long. Love you guys. If you want to get some variegated Opuntia, which I have tons of those right now, hit me up and I can send you some. $10 and I'll shoot you a pad. How about that? Grow your own. Tasty and delicious. This one will not grow. It's a little young. I'm going to take it inside and fry it up and eat it. Maybe I'll make a video on that. See you later, guys. Grow food. Grow easy, super nutritious, productive crops and food. And you know what? Opuntia. Pad Cactus. There you go. Love you guys. Thanks for subscribing. You gonna subscribe? Did you watch the video? Subscribe if you haven't. I hate when people tell me, subscribe to my video. Smash the like button. But hey, doesn't hurt, guys, right? Thank you very much. Love the support. Thank you. Keep it up. Grow food. That way we can all eat and be happy in the coming, See you later.